A third stool? Did not know that this was like a high maintenance situation here.
I demand.
Right in the middle. Maybe put it on the other side over there. We're good?
All right, here we are.
All right. I think this is pretty casual here. Welcome to the Garbage Stick Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is the first. We got Garrett Jamieson here.
That is the other voice that you heard?
That is, this is going to be more video than audio.
Oh, sorry. Then that's the other person you're seeing right now.
This is it. So Garbage Stick is, it's loosely based off a loose joke that I have about my act starting out with potential and going nowhere. So the podcast is kind of based on ideas that you have had that you feel like it could be anything really, from a joke to a project to
premise?
A premise, you know, it could definitely be a premise thing, something that it started out and then, as a sparkler does, fizzles out.
It just dies.
It just dies, and it's just like, why did it die?
Why did it become nothing?
Yeah, like what? So first of all, who we got? You are. Give a little back info about yourself.
I'm Garrett Jamieson, and I do comedy. I do it. And I tell jokes. I've been on TV, I think. I know I have, actually.
This is TV 2.0.
Oh, yeah. So this was back in the day when there was channels. I was on some of the TV.
Channel surfing.
Yeah,
was,
you could have seen me when you're channel surfing. Which
now
is
it's turned to scrolling.
Yeah, or like just flipping through stories.
Yeah, just... It is the surf has become the scroll now, which is kind of weird.
No, the scroll has become the surf.
The scroll has become scroll has become the surf. So
see, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, no, you definitely
I'm here
are
right now. I'm present.
So you've surfed the waves of the television, and you're a comedian, sketch performer.
Yeah.
Now you're a guest on the Garbage Stick Podcast.
Right. And I've had a lot of ideas that have come and gone.
So yeah, what do you think, like, thinking about that basic concept? Like, what was something that's like stuck in your head, like as like a first thought that, you know, something that started out, being a premise or project,
an
or
idea,
car.
So are you asking me of one that I've done that has failed?
Yes, and we're gonna steal all of the ideas.
Okay, as long
not
as
that
we're
it's
stealing
failed,
them.
it's like just kind of for some reason stopped. Like you just kind of got busy, or
like just my motivation.
Motivation could be a reason, because that's kind of like what I want to talk about, is like, why did the idea stop? That's why like a joke can work, but like if it's more of like, you know, like you used to do some paintings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I used to do paintings, also wood carving, but paintings is a project that I will come into, and I will put so much energy into it until I do get something out of it. And then what I do with them, usually hang them on the wall, give them away.
And painting, like, how long have you been painting for?
Since I was a wee little brush.
A wee little brush.
A wee little cone brush. I don't know if that's a type of brush.
And is it something that you've noticed that you've gotten better at, like, over since you were a wee brush?
Oh yeah, I'm way better than I was when I was 4. For sure, I've gotten way better than when I was 4.
Well, it's funny because like I always look at like ancient drawings, and I was like, this is just what they thought it was. You know, like this was like when you see like a bear carved into a wall or something, you're like, this looks like a baby carved.
Well, because they were cavemen, they were morons. I hope there's no cavemen watching this right now.
Yeah, we're sorry if there are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so your drawing got better, your painting got better, and then so was it like it was always something that you did? You always painted, or?
Yeah,
like
I used to have like nights where I'd paint nights. I'd sneak out at night and I'd paint. We'd have like painting days with my grandmother, or my ama, if you will.
Oh, so this was like something that was like in your family, like, you know, there was like a connection with it.
We had no real, I would say, we did have, like, she was an artist, I would say. But yeah, we'd have like kind of days where all the family would get together and she'd teach us how to paint, how to draw.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we would have usually one day a year, 2 days a year during the summertime.
And do you think that like like whenever you paint, are you like remembering those times? Is that like a thing, or is just you always just kind of liked it?
Do I remember?
Like, was
painting?
it like, is there like a nostalgic thing? Like when you paint, like was it like bringing you back to that time with you and your grandmother?
Yeah, for sure. I would
Yeah.
think back to even when I paint, I'm actually like a lot of thoughts are racing through your head when you're painting, and the point is almost you keep painting until you're thinking nothing.
What do you mean? There's a lot of thoughts. Like, what are you thinking about? Like, I've never actually thought about that. You're thinking while you're painting?
Yeah, so like with writing, how like you might just keep coming up with ideas like free flow. I don't know what it's called, free writing.
I was talking with the guy today, and I kept saying verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
And I think the word is stream of conscious.
Stream of consciousness, yeah.
Yeah.
Not just
The
stream of
words.
conscious, yeah.
Yeah. The stream of
Stream of conscience.
one word,
Conscience.
compound word.
It's one word put together, making two words. But yeah, it would just be
Three
like
words, yeah.
3 words.
Yeah.
It would be verbal diarrhea. So really, what you're painting is verbal diarrhea.
Just like through.
Yeah, and I noticed
image.
that a good driving force for art is an emotion.
Oh yeah.
So if you like think of an emotion, you're getting rid of the thoughts that are kind of clouding your creative judgment, I guess. And then you're just painting. Like sometimes I'll paint sad.
Yeah.
And so like you're thinking of sadness, and then you start painting the sadness, and you focus on that, and you breathe through it, and then you actually paint better.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I believe that like art is for sure stemmed in emotion, and like the thing with like a joke, for example, like I've talked about with you and possibly other things, is like, you know, a joke is just verbalizing an emotion. It's that to me is what it is, where it's like if
Give me an example.
well, a shitty example is you wait in line at a restaurant.
Okay.
You're waiting in line to order at a fast food restaurant, and there's a bunch of people, and you're now second in line. And the person in front of you goes up to the cash and decides to look at the menu for the first time.
So what is that emotion? Frustration?
Anger and
yeah.
frustration. So that is a moment that everybody can relate to through emotion, and that's what the relatable part is. It's like it's that moment, but then the joke is verbalizing that without flat out saying that.
And then to make it comedic would be the average emotion would be frustration or anger.
Yeah.
But if you threw in
Like a
I
kink, yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love and then you talk about how much you love that idea.
and then you flip it on its head.
Yeah. So then the emotion is then happiness or love. So
Yeah, you're like, you know what I really get off on is
Yeah.
waiting in long, hard lines.
not just waiting, but like it's almost my turn, and then the guy before
Edging.
me, just like starts reading the menu because he hasn't decided when he was in line.
Yeah, and this brings me to a natural transition of an idea that I feel like exists now, but it is an old idea that I've had about a line waiting app where you pay people like an Uber, let's
Like it's
say.
kind of like remember Tamagotchi, so it's like Tamagotchi, but it's you.
You are the Tamagotchi.
Your other self is
Yeah.
waiting in a line, and you're like, you got to feed yourself, go to the bathroom.
Because imagine like if you're like at a show or like you're in New York, let's say, or Toronto, and you have a big show and there's a long
Shout
lineup.
out to New York or Toronto.
Shout out to NYC, representing right here.
Oh, nice.
$3, Queens. But no, like let's say you're in New York, Toronto, or like you're buying a pair of shoes or whatever it is, and there's a long line. You could actually pay somebody.
There's never a lineup for shoes.
There are for rare shoes.
Oh, rare shoes.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah. For
Everywhere
like
I
new
go is-
drops.
yeah.
No. People are trying to leave. No, but so the idea was that you would pay somebody to wait in line for you, and then they obviously are tracked and timed almost by the hour, by the minute. And then when you come back, they just get paid, and then they leave the line. That's it.
So no one's actually there.
There's a person. So let's say I was waiting in line and you're on the app, and I'm like, there's no chance I'm waiting here for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I would go on the app like an Uber, basic common scenario now, and I would say, okay, this guy, good reviews,
Yeah.
good. You know, he's not pissing people off in the
He's just gonna
lineup.
stand in line.
You know, and then I would say, this is what I'm doing, blah blah blah, and then you would confirm the line appointment, and then you would show up and then wait in that lineup, and then I would leave, maybe go out for lunch, go for a nap, wherever I was.
Yeah.
Come back later, and you would now leave the line, and I would take my spot back.
So it's kind of like a seat filler.
It would be it would be a seat filler for lines.
The irony would be as if this guy was so good at standing in lines, there was then a lineup to get this guy to...
They'd be like, now he's back ordered. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
look, this guy's in too many lines today. But, obviously that was an idea that I had that went absolutely nowhere. And this is the
for a
idea
joke that
of
works,
garbage
but like
stick.
right now, as the logical person in a crowd, I'd be like, they already have that. It's just called the apps. Like you can order, let's say Starbucks or Tim Hortons, you can order your coffee order and then see it when it's going to be ready, and then you show up and you pick it up.
But that is definitely
So like my
a
logical
low
mind
version.
is I can find holes in your...
The hole that I would think is what happens if the person doesn't want to leave. Like what
they
happens?
just love standing in line?
Well, no. Like what happens if they're like, I'm now going to go to this show I've decided, and
Or
they take your spot.
Yeah, they start living your life.
Yeah, they just take over.
Yeah, so then this guy he's living my life. So if you see someone out there who's not me, but living my life, that's my life.
This is in a movie. I got up and I just turned to the side, and there was an audience, and I started telling this as a joke.
Yeah. Hey, it's good to be here.
But no, that would be, that was, I guess that could be a flaw, that someone just lives your life now.
Well, that's a lot of times when I'm watching comedy, I'm trying to find the surprise, obviously, but I'm also, I don't know, for some reason I pay attention to the flaws.
For sure. Well, that's where comedy is the
That's
flaws.
where, I guess, the bulletproof jokes.
But so back to the painting. So were painting, whittling.
Painting whittles, yeah.
You were painting whittles. I always thought that you should get into custom frames. Like, I think that it's like a crazy business. You were making frames. I remember
Yeah, I was
you
making
were
frames for the paintings.
Yeah, and it's like we're in such a crazy day and age now where if you sold custom frames, like I'm like people would
Where the frame is better than the artwork.
yeah, the frame is really the art.
Yeah, like, and then there's the idea of like framing the frame.
Yeah, you could really frame anything as much as you want.
Would you have a better frame than the frame that you framed?
And then, there is the possibility, and then you have your frame of mind while you're doing it. So it's just never, it's never ending.
See how easy art is?
Art. But so what was it that made you stop painting? Like, obviously it's always in you. But like, so do you think that it would be your garbage stick?
Well, no, I wouldn't say painting's my garbage stick.
So what would you consider?
Woodworking, the reason why I stopped doing it is because I don't have a space.
Okay.
So like when I started, it was back in Winnipeg, where I kind of had a work area at my parents' place. But being back here in Toronto, I live in an apartment, and you really can't be
whittling and
cutting wood, sanding wood, burning wood.
Yeah.
Like you just make a mess.
Yeah, it really makes a difference to hobbies. Hobbies change in an apartment.
Oh you definitely can't do woodworking in your apartment.
It really makes sense to why like the son of Sam guy, maybe he was a whittler that ended up just being like, I can't do this. He started cutting out letters and gluing them on a piece of paper.
Son of Sam, you mean?
Yeah, wasn't he the guy who like cut the letters out? That's kind of like whittling.
Was that Son of Sam? I know of that.
I thought that was like the first time that was done, was like the Son of Sam.
I don't know, actually. That's a...
Leave that for another garbage stick.
Yeah, we can find that out. We should have somebody here.
There should be someone here. Which, by the way, we'll take a side note to say that we are in the basement of Winona, which is in Toronto, Bloor and Dufferin.
And you do this every Monday?
Every Monday we are here, and we are trying to set it up where we're going to start off with the podcast, kind of a little sit-down casual conversation. We're going to have a comedy show, and then at the end of the show, there will be an audience interaction part.
And today there's going to be no interaction.
No, the numbers need to grow for that.
That's what's interesting about this, because this in itself is a project that you can complete, and you can actually see this project grow.
This is my garbage stick. It is hopefully going to keep on shining like a diamond. What's the Pink Floyd?
Shine on you, crazy diamond?
Yes.
Or shine bright like isn't that Rihanna?
They got a little bit of both of them, but
shine bright like a diamond, shine on you.
Yes, that is the one. Yeah.
Crazy
For copyright reasons, we're going to stop now, just in case this goes viral.
Yeah, in case you get flagged for me singing that perfect pitch version of Shine On You Crazy
Hey,
Diamond.
the algorithm's getting pretty crazy out
I believe
there.
that's part 7 through 11 or something.
I was gonna say part deux, but that was Hot Shots.
Oh, man.
We can't really be
We
making
can't
all
step
these.
on those toes.
But okay, so whittling is not easy in an apartment.
Yeah, so like that's something that stopped, not because of creative fatigue or ADD or anything. ADHD. When did it go from ADD to ADHD? When did they add that H in?
I would say, probably when I would. Do you
Because
think
one is attention deficit disorder, the other one is attention deficit hyperactive disorder.
it evolved? It had to have evolved, or it de-evolved. Maybe it was always ADHD, and then more people had ADD.
It H evolved.
It H. I don't know.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I was trying to run with that, but okay. So then
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up in
What?
the sense of this is a quick one.
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
What's up? We have our first comic on the show. No, we'll wrap it up in a second here. So, what do you think would be your garbage stick then? Like, if you had to like really think about something that you started and then it faded.
Faded? That's a lot of relationships.
Relationships do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
relationships can, because then you get that, you're in something for a while, and then it loses its luster, I guess. And then either I'm on the receiving end of it or the doing end.
So now, in the sense of obviously, there's a lot of stuff we could touch on there.
Maybe if
but,
I treated relationships like art.
so what do you
Because
think you could have
I've
done
been
different?
in a relationship with comedy for 20 years now.
But comedy doesn't.
It gives me love and attention.
But the
it gives-
people do.
The people do, but they're part of the
Yeah.
comedy. And
So is that something that you could do moving forward? Is think about a relationship as comedy?
I think I've had a breakthrough right now. Yes. If I was in a relationship with somebody that I loved as much as comedy or performing, I guess.
Yeah.
But then is the genuine you performing for them, or are you putting on a mask performing for them? Because this then comes down to being an artist and really just letting the world see who you actually are. And so the world would be whoever I choose.
Whoever you choose to perform to. No,
Yeah.
I think that this is obviously like a real thing because it just reminds me of that like Patrice O'Neill joke where he has that old joke about how he was in a relationship and his partner or whatever was thinking that he loved comedy more than her, and he was like, no, he's like, for sure I love comedy. Then I love my mom. Then I love my favorite leather jacket, and then you. He's like, the fact that you think you're number one
I
or
love
two.
this dead-skinned animal
Yeah.
that's
yeah. But
you
it
warm in the
is like
winter.
a way of thinking. We have our second comic of the show
Yeah,
here.
that's, right
we have
here.
Ben Bayfield and Mark Hallworth coming in the room. We're going to wrap it up here. We got about 50 seconds.
Okay.
But no, it is an interesting way to think, like in the event of so how could you then take that mentality on a realistic level from comedy to a relationship?
So how would I do that? I would, I guess, a lot of creative writing on the relationship and figuring out the intricacies on what makes it funny. So if I observe the relationship as if I was like, what's funny about this? I would care about it, pay more attention, and then have something magical that I can then reiterate to my other girlfriend comedy.
Well, yeah, I was going to say maybe you should get into those relationships where there's like 4 people. Because
Well, then I'm polyamorous when it comes to a relationship with a person and a relationship with comedy.
So there you go. It is an interesting thought, though, because you could always have like an audience. You can, work on.
This has been actually very therapeutic for me, and I'd like to thank you for that.
We did it. Well, this is episode 1 of Garbage Stick. We have Garrett Jamieson here, and we're going to see if there's a comedy show with some crowd work at the end. And
beautiful.
By the looks of it, I don't think there will be.
But we can continue the podcasting if you want.
Yeah,
this was actually great. So if you guys,
if we want to maybe load up, if you guys want,
I think podcasts are my favorite. The favorite open mic.
Well, then maybe what we'll do is I'll just do 3 of these if we don't do the show.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's been lovely.
Thank you.
Bye.
I just got off like it was on stage.
Yeah. Well, kind of are. But yeah, that was good.
This is the Garbage Stick. This is the Garbage Stick Podcast. My name's Mark DeBonis, and I am hoping to release episodes weekly.